family. Today we are live from Estelí, Nicaragua again. We are at Tabanero's Box Factory. We've talked about packaging before, but today it's about more than boxes. We'll be discussing technology, what helps us protect tradition. It's about innovation that elevates, not replaces the craft. So let's dive in. Yanko, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been an honor to be here in CNC Cigar Box Manufacturing. I've been here for the last 2 months and I'm really enjoying it.
Awesome. You get this a lot. People have asked you, have told you, yeah, uncle, we know at some point you're going to be manufacturing cigars in Esteli, but you actually came and started a cigar box. What made you move to Esteli, Nicaragua and start a box factory?
Well, my train of thought was that I was pretty happy with the factory that I was making cigars here in Esteli. And I said, you know what? I need to find an excuse to be more often here in Esteli, not just when I'm making cigars. Because my cigars, they'll be able to, a medium factory size, they'll be able to make my cigars in 4 months. So what would I would do the rest of the year? I wanted to be exposed to growing tobacco. I wanted to be exposed to fermentation. And I said, well, what can I do to spend more time in Esteli? And all the conversations that you are present, packaging always comes up. Packaging always comes up. And the comment is how long factories take here to do your box order. The average is 90 days to 4 months. That's the average. Doesn't matter how much in a rush you are, it's usually 90 to 90 days to 4 months. So I saw opportunity the same way of in Tampa, Florida, 2010, that there were so many little shops making cigars on the strip, naked cigars, and no one was really serious about bringing back the heritage of Ybor City by manufacturing a brand. So I saw opportunity here in Esteli of bringing new technology to do packaging.
Now, why did you decide to start with a CNC technology? You bought, I remember, our daughter is almost 11 years old, and you bought your first CNC machine in Tampa. It was a smaller version, not the commercial one we have right now, but you bought the CNC machine over 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. She was a newborn when you bought it. Why did you decide to implement CNC technology in your boxes?
Welcome to Esteli. Well, I am a passionate individual. By my other side, my engineering side, I love technology. And in the many conversations that I've been present doing enjoyment of good, fine cigars, you don't hear a lot the topic of packaging. We talk about life, family, and of course, good cigars. You don't hear a lot about packaging. When you hear any good comments about packaging, we're talking about in 100 count humidor of a special edition. But actually, boxes, when you hear any comments about boxes, it's usually negative. What sense negative? Well, when there's a new brand and someone said, well, I wanted to try one of the cigars, but it looked like they spent all the money on the box. The box was so fancy and top notch that being a new brand, I was afraid to buy one cigar. That's usually what I hear. about putting too much emphasis on the packaging. Being in the US and a lot of issues with labor, I said there has to be an easier way to do the small amount of packaging that I need for my cigar sales, because there's no secret that most of the sales were single cigars. But I saw opportunity when we moved to 7th Avenue of people asking for boxes. So I said, I need to find a way. I need to learn some kind of technology that I can do boxes quick, that I can do it fast. So I look into CNC routers. I realized that the whole changing the bid, um, finding the different materials, the dust, it was going to be a little bit complicated for cigar boxes. I look into laser cutter plywood and spent many months during that year that I bought the machine, and finally decide, yes, we're going to go with laser cutter because it's a lot faster. You find someone that designs a box for you with the correct inside measurements, and then you give the plywood to the machine, cut it, and put it together like a um, Lego toy. So that's why I look into CNC.
Can you show us and explain how CNC works and why it's important for precision?
One of the biggest also issues in the packaging industry is boxes out of size. You bring the cigars, they measure the cigars, and being a total handmade process, they've been doing boxes in Nicaragua the same way as 50 years ago. You know, you can get boxes that are not completely square. You can get boxes that are bent because the wood is still humid. You can get boxes that you get 40 boxes, 50, 100 boxes, the correct size, and then the other one's a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Again, this doesn't happen with well-established box manufacturing that you are doing 2 million cigars and you're going to do 100,000 boxes with them. That's at another level. I was trying to solve an issue for the little guy like me, that we do 2,000 boxes, 3,000 boxes, and even though we were small, to have technology that can deliver the same or even better quality of the big manufacturing box company. To pay attention to detail and offer the same service at a smaller scale with precision, with digital design, to have top-notch boxes. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how's the process, because it's not complicated. We've been next to the screen printing area where they do all the screen printing. These boxes, Tabanero boxes, they already did the size. And I think now they're going to be doing the front. So this part is still the same way by hand. They burn the design on the screens and they do it completely by hand. Eventually, when flatbed UV printers, they advance fast enough, we'll be able to use flatbed printers, UV printers, to go ahead and print the boxes. So that will accelerate the process like crazy, and we would have that demand for a specialty technician, because there's not that many in Esteli to do the screen printing with flatbed. And here we do the assembling. When we are full production, they make boxes and put them in the conveyor, and the conveyor takes it to that last table over there. We have done numbers, and four assemblers, they can do an average between 1,200 to 1,400 boxes a day. The old school, you can put it down. The old school way to do boxes, to do 1,000 boxes a day, you need at least 60 people. 60 people. In here is only 12 of us. 12 of us, and we crank boxes pretty quick. There's no secret that my people get paid a little bit better because of the technology allows us to go faster. So the pieces downstairs, they do all the cuttings of the plywood. They do panels, an average of 24 inches by 24 inches panels. That's usually the average size. And then from there, it comes to the laser cutters. Let me show you the laser cutters. This is laser cutter number 2, and this is laser cutter number 1. They're putting material in there, like I said. We're working on a completely natural box right now. And as you can see, it's cutting. But I realized that we're probably making a mistake. So let me talk to the guy for a second. Una pregunta. Estamos cortando antes de grabar. Estamos cortando antes de grabar las letras.
Sí.
¿Lo están haciendo así?
Sí, así lo tiene programado.
Ok, perfecto. Perfecto, perdón. I was just asking about the priority on the work. I'm going to show you some of the pieces that we're cutting in here. This is a new brand by the I-1492, and they doing a all natural box. I'll show you here all the leads. They came to me, I would say 2 weeks ago, that they needed 2,400 boxes by September the 10th. And I said, no, because it's not just you. I have other production for other factories. So I said I can do 1,200 by September 10th, so you can launch your brand, and another 1,200 later on. And they agree. And of course, we're going to be finished probably before the time. This is quality control. They went and assembled this box with a burn. So this is not good. This has to.
There is a Spanish saying,
Let me show.
el ojo del amo engorda el caballo. That's basically no eyes will look at things better than your own, you know what I mean? He is very detailed oriented.
Again, these boxes they're really economic in comparison with the other factories because it's plywood, and the process of making the box, it's a lot simpler. There's rock. They assembled the box incorrectly. They put it the wrong way. So this box, it stays here to become a piggy bag or these boxes, they were meant to be for big daddies, and we decided to do a generic box. So when you buy a big sampler, a 20 count sampler, you take it on a big daddy box. Enseña esto aquí. This is going out after lunch. And because being in a really small space for the operation that we have, we got to be delivering partial amount of boxes, 400 boxes, 600 boxes to the factory. So we finish a size, we take it to the factory. We finish another size, we take it to the factory. This is a flavor brand, a flavor cigar brand. Don Rafa. Pretty simple, a pretty simple box. Like I said, I haven't been present on a conversation about boxes before. Everybody talks about cigars, but not boxes.
You mentioned the other day that Padron was the one who introduced the
lever machine, the bunching machine.
The bunching machine.
I believe I heard that the Padron was the one who implemented lever bunching machines, and I guess he had a lot of criticizing because he was changing the old Cuban style of bunching by hand. Bunching by hand, it was between 60 to 100 cigars a day per cigar roller. He found a way to bunch 300, 350, 400 cigars a day, and with a lady rolling, two people would do 400 cigars a day. So
when we had cigar rollers in Tampa, we had, I think at some point we had 7, correct?
we got to 10 rollers. We
Yeah.
got to 10 rollers.
What was their production per day? What was the average?
Well, usually with 5 rollers, for which the average that we had, it was 400 cigars, 380, because some of the cigars were complicated and they did less.
So it was between 80 to 100 cigars per roller?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How did the bunch making machine change the production? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it took me years to accept that it's a lot more consistent cigar, because we can get into the discussion that a true master roller can do a better job by hand than a machine. But the question is, how many true master rollers there are in the world? I'm not even know if they still exist, because the more I mature, the more I age, I feel the newer generations are losing the passion for things. They are so distracted with everything that is going on around them that it's difficult to work on your desires, on your passion, because you are most of the time trying to distract your mind. We are afraid nowadays to be with our own self. If you think about it, every time that we are by our own self, we pick up the phone and try to get entertained. We are afraid of our minds. So I think that is affecting the passion. So not having those true master rollers that they can bunch by hand, I think we have a lot more consistency with a lever buncher.
So it's not about replacing the craft. It's
No,
enhancing.
no, 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 no. When they bring wood to a regular box shop, there's I'm hearing this from people that used to work on box shops that I work here now. There's 5 to 7 people cutting different sizes of the box. 5 to 7 people. And the same way we make mistakes here with 1, 2, 3 boxes, they make bigger mistakes when they cut all the sizes and then they've been cutting for 2 hours and the supervisor comes in, measure, and the sizes are too narrow or too short. So coming with a laser cutter with digital cutting, think about it, how much of that spillage, how much of those mistakes went away. And here, most of the table saw to do the sliding top size, the placing the top on the back. Most of those little table saw, they have electronic feeders. So the person just places the piece and it comes out to the other side. All this technology inspire the worker to work with us and inspire the worker to do the whole day working in here because their work it's a lot simpler. It's kind of like playing video games. I put a piece here, it comes out. Put a piece here. I put a plywood on the laser machine. The laser machine starts doing everything. That's where technology is coming in. And I hope I can mentor them and guide them as a good leader, not to not to build passion for what they do, because pretty soon it will be robots doing boxes.
CNC has allowed us to reduce waste, ensures consistency, and allows us to explore custom designs that will be nearly impossible
Yeah,
manually.
yeah, yeah,
You've always been a guy uh, known or
yeah.
to think out of the box. As a
Hmm.
matter of fact, the T-shirts here say that.
Yeah, yeah,
Manita things out of the box, and you always like to innovate.
yeah. It will be pretty boring for me just to continue doing the same thing over and over. I will lose interest. So the way for me to stay interested on this industry, it's innovating. At this point, I'm innovating with packaging. I know when I master this, and in the meantime, I'm learning about fermentation. I'm learning about different things when it comes to manufacturing cigars. I have a lot of projects to enhance the manufacturing of cigars. Right now, every time they're pressing cigars, it's completely by hand. It's a really tiring process because you have to press at least 3 times a day. So that buncher, it gets tired of doing that. The lever they use is still completely by hand. And there's no need for that lever to be completely by hand. You want the buncher to concentrate on putting those leaves correctly and then just place it on the buncher and the lever machine to do the work. You want that person when he's going to press his molds just to press a button and press the correct amount. This is my brain. This is my brain, and probably it doesn't make money sense for big manufacturing, but long time ago I forgot about doing things for money. I do things because I'm enjoying to do it. And my life, my family, my 3 kids, my mom, my wife, my mother, my grandma, I'm able to take care of them over the little scale that I run my business. I'm loving my life. So it's not about if it's if it's gonna be an expense or if it's not gonna make sense. It's about to enhancing the work for other people so they continue to come back to do these amazing cigars that we enjoy.
I want to invite our friends to comment below if they have kept any cigar boxes and what makes one worth saving. And also, if knowing the story behind the process, how we make the cigar boxes, is if it makes them more meaningful for you. Comment below, let us know. Thank you, Yanko, for another live. Amazing time with you.
Thank you very much, guys. And I'm here. I'm going to continue doing this because I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Have an amazing Sunday.